Can we go through the woods now? Apparently not. Booyah! Oh, I have another point now. I can just stare at the ground. So I wonder if I can actually find a combo. It's cool that you like slowly gain access to more buttons. Alright, there's gotta be a way through this forest. Ah, found it. Maybe they should have put something there to make it more obviously the entrance. I mean, there was like a little bit of a gap, but... Spooky forest. Alright, these boys do not take physical damage. Time to hit him with the chi. Oh, yeah. Nice. Teaching through gameplay here. Give us an enemy that can't take physical damage to teach us to use our magic move. It's so refreshing sometimes playing these old games. Sure, there's moments where things aren't obvious and it can be kind of frustrating, but there's so many great moments of just, oh, I learned that myself. I didn't have to have the game tell me, Mega Man, these enemies don't take any physical damage, try your magic attack. But to be fair, it comes with a cost, because then there's going to be moments where, like, I don't know what to do, you know? But I much prefer not knowing what to do versus being told what to do, but that's just a personal thing. Not everyone feels that way. But it's very refreshing. You know, I was thinking about this the other day. I'm curious what you guys think. So, like, I can guarantee I know the answer because this is my community. But out of curiosity, type 1 in the chat if you are, like I just said, where you would rather struggle than be told what to do. And type 2 in the chat if you would rather, for the most part, be given tutorials. Good tutorials. I'm not saying, like, annoying ones, but, like, you know, enough to, you know what you're doing and not have to struggle. It's actually kind of more down the middle than I thought. I figured there'd be way more ones just because this is my community, but it's pretty down the middle, actually. So, here's my question, though, to follow up on this. Why do you think that is? Why do you think you answered 1 or 2? Also, the song is banging now that I let it go for a bit. I like to suffer. Like, what do you think it was growing up that, like, made you that way? Or why do you think you're like that now? You like challenges but don't like frustration? Why play a game and not know the controls? Because I'm playing the game, not listening to an NPC. If I struggle too much, I feel like a failure. And I'm not good enough. That's my wife to a T. That is my wife, 100%. If she feels like she doesn't know what to do, she thinks she's bad. 100%. Especially with video games. Like, me and her are polar opposites when it comes to that. Because for me, when I struggle with something, I get motivated to be better at it. Just in general, just in life in general. If I struggle with something, I'm immediately motivated to be better at it. You know, like if I were learning how to skateboard and I fell off the skateboard, my brain would be like, I want to not fall off the skateboard anymore, so I want to get better. Whereas her brain would be like, I fell off the skateboard, therefore I'm not a skater. You know what I mean? Which neither one is incorrect by any means, but like it's just a different way of viewing things. I do think that the way that she views it is a bit self-defeating, but also like some people could see it as not wasting her time with something that she's not invested in, you know? So it's not like necessarily wrong, but it can be wrong sometimes. I will admit, like I think that my wife looking at it that way can be a detriment sometimes, because, you know, like Carrie said, no one is born a skater. Like you have to struggle at it to get good at it. It's with certain things. With other things, yeah, maybe she's right. Maybe she just isn't good at that thing and she shouldn't waste her time at it. But there's other things where like you genuinely have to struggle at it to be good at it. Something like skating or something like even video games. You're not born with these inherent skills, right? But anyways, I'm getting off topic. So here's what I was thinking about the other day, because I think it's really fascinating. So I was wondering the other day, like, why as a 31-year-old adult do I still have this same approach to things where, well, let's just talk video games. I still have this approach in video games where, like, I dislike tutorials almost to a fault. Like, I dislike them more than I think I should. I think most of us dislike really overbearing, annoying tutorials. But I tend to dislike them pretty much 99% of the time. I only like a tutorial if it's specifically like something brand new to this video game that I'm gonna really not have any understanding of how it works unless you give me a tutorial. And it's really just saving me frustration and not saving me the ability to explore and test stuff. Like, for example, if this game told me, press triangle to jump. There was the kid that told me that, but I had to, like, ask him. Like, there was an option. So that's fine. But if, like, the second I walked up to that ledge, if it was, like, press triangle to jump, I would be annoyed by that, because that's just what I do when I pick up a controller. I try every button to see what it does. And I prefer doing that over the game telling me. So I was kind of wondering, like, why am I to this day still more anti-tutorial than the common gamer, I guess, right? And I came up with a really interesting thought. As you guys know, I'm really invested in Call of Duty Zombies. It's like one of my favorite games. It's my go-to, you know, like, I guess junk food of gaming. It's my go-to just have fun thing that I've been invested in for many years. And yeah, it's my comfort game. And something really interesting about Call of Duty Zombies in particular is that the original thought behind it from the development standpoint was to give the players zero information. And so you're just placed in a room. You're just, there you are. You're in the room with a gun. Don't even know what's going to happen. And then the zombies appear and start breaking down the windows, and you need to shoot them to survive. And there's legitimately not a single piece of text in those original Zombies maps. It is simply fight to survive, and that was kind of the mindset they wanted you in. And as you explore, you learn more about how things work and also the lore. So there's not a single piece of lore in any of the early maps. It's all from what you glean from your environment. So you see some writing on the wall and it says, you know, what's the famous one in the first room? The salvation lies above. And you glean from that, oh, you can go upstairs and there's better guns up there. Stuff like that, right? And then the lore itself is through like these radios that you have to find and etchings on the wall that give you just slight inklings as to what's going on, but gives you no real sense of like actual lore. And then the community kind of just built around that, what they thought the lore could be. And then the developers literally took what the community had come up with and basically wrote the lore from that. Kind of similar, like, I know like the Souls games were kind of similar, where like they gave you just inklings of information and then the community kind of filled in the gaps. That's kind of similar to the way zombies happen, but even more so from the community. And I was just kind of thinking the other day, like, I was so ingrained in that idea of like just being set in the world and gleaning everything from the environment, that once they started to change the newer zombie maps to have just straight up cutscenes with lore and dialogue and, you know, here's exactly what you're doing and here's exactly what the lore is, I think I got pretty like frustrated with that type of game design in general. Because it genuinely ruined this like game mode for me. That's like my favorite thing, like my favorite game mode ever. And I still enjoy the newer maps too, but like I miss that original style of developing the maps where you would just, it gave you this special feeling of being alone in this room and trying to figure out what's going on just from what you're seeing, you know? And so I wonder if that kind of translated to like this frustration with just tutorials in general, you know? Because I didn't hate tutorials when I was a kid. It's not like I've always been this way. It's not like I've always been like, you know, annoyed with tutorials. I think as a kid, I probably enjoyed them more or like accepted them more. But as I get older, I feel like I get more and more frustrated with them. And I think that's a big part of it. Seeing it single-handedly ruin one of my favorite types of games has kind of made me like look at tutorials with more ire than maybe I should. And I still think from a gameplay, from like a game development standpoint, like if I were to ever develop a video game, I still think that teaching through the game mechanics is still the best way to go. You know, everyone always likes to point to Mega Man X and the classic YouTube video, Sequelitis, where he talks about how important it is to teach through game mechanics. I still think, regardless of whether or not you like or dislike tutorials, I think that's the best way to design a game, personally. And that's for a lot of reasons. It's not just, you know, frustrating to the player, because we just saw, like, half of you guys are pretty okay with tutorials, right? But I just think that information sticks better when you do it that way. When... you know, when they say, Mega Man, press X to jump, it's not as memorable as being stuck in a pit and then having to figure out that it's the X button that gets you out, right? Like, it does just stick better in your brain. If a tutorial tells me that pressing R1 is a shortcut to get to a menu, I'm not going to remember it as well as if I just figured that out naturally. So I do personally think that from a game development standpoint, it is better to teach through mechanics. But you can't always do that. It's not always possible. Sometimes you do need a tutorial. But I'm willing to say that I think it is better in general to teach through the mechanics where possible. Back here. And, you know, Zombies was a great example of a game mode that did not need to teach you anything. There was no need to teach people, so they didn't. They realized that the atmosphere would be ruined by tutorials, and so they left them completely out. Even though your first couple runs, you're probably going to die in 2 seconds because you don't know what's going on. It's a type of game mode where you just keep playing it and keep getting better and keep getting further, and so it fits to not have a tutorial. And it's cool to see that back then the developers could really look at the game mode and decide whether or not tutorials were smart or not. And that's, I think, my frustration with game development nowadays. I don't think they look at a game and think, would it be a good idea to have tutorials here or not? Instead, they just always put in tutorials. Like, every AAA game, it's just, at this point, a fact that it's going to have tutorials. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think it's a question of, is it good here, is it good there? Like, it's just a inevitability of game design now that every game is going to have as many tutorials as possible. Which is just a shame, because I don't think that's a good way to develop games. I think that there's times where they're good and times where they're bad. You know? It just seems like a shame that we could have a game like Elden Ring, where it's like supposed to be this super difficult, figure it out yourself experience, and yet there's still use the analog stick to move forward. It's like, this isn't this doesn't fit the vibe of the game at all. Like, it's just some higher up saying, we need tutorials. You know? Yeah, I think platformers are really like the best case of teach-through mechanics. And, you know, it's unfair to take a game like Celeste and be like, look at how great Celeste is. It doesn't need any tutorials, it just teaches you through the game design, just like something like Mega Man X does. But then you look at something like the Final Fantasy VII Remake and say like, oh, these tutorials, gross, why can't it be like Celeste? Like, obviously, there's so much more going on there that, like, yes, we do need to tell the player some stuff, right? The player is going to be more frustrated trying to figure out all of this on their own than if we just tell them. So, there is a right way and a wrong way. You can't just, as much as I would love to, you can't just blanket statement, no tutorials forever in any game. You know, like, no. There are times when you need them, and there's times where I'm frustrated because the tutorial either isn't there or is incorrect. You know? So... Four-hit combo. I'm still not seeing much of a point of doing the combos. They all just kind of do different damage. It seems like all the combos with X just do the most damage. And I still don't have any in here. I was hoping I would like find a combo that would be like a special combo or something, and then it would stick in my combos list, but so far no dice. Did I just get hit by a rock? Indiana Jones rock. I like how the birds like flew away when the rock hit the ground. That was a cool detail. I like that I actually have to heal in the menu. It's not just constantly giving me health when I level up or something. Like, it does expect you to go into the menu and heal, but it gives you a lot of healing items. I really prefer that with older RPGs. I hate that a lot of newer RPGs just constantly give you full health and it doesn't feel like you're really, like, surviving. It doesn't feel like that old RPG feel of, like, having to use your items wisely and stuff. Like, items are just kind of there. Oh, items are almost more like a bonus. How many newer RPGs have you played lately where you never used an item? Or didn't use them till the very end? Whereas you play like Final Fantasy 1 and you're constantly using items. Constantly, like, you gotta actually prepare for a dungeon. It's like, I need at least 5 Phoenix Downs for this dungeon. You know, I kind of miss that. That's kind of another thing that's just kind of aged out. Yeah, like resource management is kind of just a survival game thing now. Survival games will force you to resource manage, but not really RPGs. True. Yeah, there is a downside to that. In that, if you have too many items, it can make the game easy. Although I think in this case, it's actually pretty nice. I mean, we've only just started, but in terms of item balance, the item that I can only use out of battle, I have a ton of, but the one that I can use in battle, I only have a few. So that's pretty cool. Like, I gotta actually be careful with these or I might run out, but the one that I have to heal outside of battle, I have a ton. So that's a really cool balance, but who knows how long that'll last. But that's the way they should balance it. That way it's not OP in battle, but, you know, you have to resource manage to get through a dungeon. A little bit of a prelude. Do 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 going on in this song. I need more EP. Didn't I have an item that? Maybe it's only out of battle. Oh, we're running. I accidentally defended. Yeah, some games have like a limit that you can hold. Some really old RPGs have a limit of like total items you can hold. And then that really gets into resource management of like how many of what type of item do I bring. It's a balance, because that can be good for balance, but also frustrating as the player to have to throw away items. So definitely depends on the game, though. Yeah, I think Legend of Dragoon does a pretty good job with that, up until you realize that battle items are, like, busted. But if it weren't for that, I think Legend of Dragoon would have a really good item balance in general. Oh, this is weird. Yeah, that's one thing that I find difficult in RPGs, is that they give you all these really cool abilities and spells, but then MP restorative items are usually pretty rare in all these games, you know? It's like, I want to use the cool moves, but I don't want to waste my MP, so I end up just never using them. I genuinely prefer That's one thing that I prefer about modern games. Is most modern games have a way better way of restoring your MP. Either it comes back over time or, you know, whatever. And I much prefer that over the old style of find an ether. You know? Sudden cutscene.
Throw down your weapon. Make one wrong move and I'll shoot.
I don't have a weapon? Want me to throw down my hands? Or turn around? I said turn around. Are you shaking? Be quiet. You don't seem to be one of the Kislev soldiers who are after me, but... Don't move. I have orders to kill all surface dwellers, lambs I come in contact with. It's part of my mission. It's nothing personal. I have a question for you. How do I get out of this forest? Are you lost? Just answer my question. How do I get out of here? Sorry, but I'm looking for the way out of here too. Oh. How long are you going to just stand there like that? If you're going to shoot me, then hurry up and do it. What an odd thing to say. Don't you understand the situation you are in? I don't care about my situation. I'm just a guy whose life is worthless. There's no point in me living anyway. Stay back! What are you aiming at? Here, shoot me here. Come on. Are you mocking me? You're weird. Something's very wrong with you. You should at least resist a little bit. What's this? Who are you? Stop! Keep your hands off of Ellie. What, Ellie? That's a forest elf, by the way, in case you were wondering. Man, what a crazy scene. Remember what I said before about his personality changing? We went from, like, talking to little children and being like, hey, you wanna play? You wanna have some fun? We can have fun together, to like, you miss me, shoot me here. You know, like crazy. Are you alright? Hang in there. Good, you finally woke up. You didn't move for so long that I started to worry. This is such an interesting, because like Faye is both given up on himself, but then also still has like care for other people. So we can't help but be worried about her, even though 2 seconds ago we didn't even care if he died, you know? It's really like interesting. How are you feeling? He genuinely loves other people more than himself. Do you still intend to kill me? Then go right ahead and shoot me. But you'd better not do it while we're in this forest. Forest monsters hate loud noises, you know? Fine, don't talk to me if you don't want to. But it wouldn't kill you to thank me for tending your wounds. Thanks. But you shouldn't have helped me. Don't think it will save your life, though. It really doesn't change a thing. What are you so afraid of? I'm not afraid. I'm just being cautious. It's natural for me to be this cautious, considering I've met such a suspicious surface-dwelling lamb. Don't you worry, I'm not going to do anything. Besides, you're much more suspicious than I am. Huh? So what's your name? I won't give my name to a surface-dweller lamb. What's with you in this lamb thing? We're both lost in this forest, surrounded by dangerous monsters. Shouldn't we at least be cooperating with each other until we get out of here? Good, so what's your name? It's going to be hard for us to cooperate with one another without at least knowing each other's names. Anyway, my name is Fei Fong Wong. You can call me Fei. I'm Elihime, but my parents call me Ellie. Ellie, huh? Somehow I already knew that. Anyway, it's too dangerous to travel these parts this late at night. Let's wait till daybreak before we continue looking for a way out of here. If that's okay with you. It's Elihime or Elihim? Probably Elihim, right? I can see it both ways. I guess we have no choice, do we? Okay then, Ellie. How about having something to eat? They just broke. Yeah. Ellie ham. Easter ham. I know, isn't it wild? We've already seen more cutscenes than Final Fantasy VII.
Wait! Hey! Don't leave me here! Wait!
But these are also easier to develop because they're animated. But they also have voice acting.
You must be lonely here by yourself. Faye. Faye. Faye.
Faye? Are you awake? Bum. Wow, Ellie, 52 HP, bad. She's got a rod. Love the sound effects. Yeah, it's kind of weird. Like, so there was the character at the start, well, several characters at the start, that were like, you know, oh, I wish I was born a guy, because girls have to stay home and guys go and do manly things. If only girls could do manly things. So I thought when we met the girl, she would be like the standout, you know, like tough woman to like counteract that thought that we started with, right? But she's not really. She's very like unsure of herself, and she uses a rod. She's looking like she's more of a magic caster, weak, squishy target that uses magic. So, nothing wrong with that, but it's just interesting. I thought for sure the first woman we met would be like a super tough type to counteract what the beginning of the game had said. What is that? I don't. She's doing like the stanky leg or something. I don't know what this animation is. Not sure. It's kind of odd. Okay, I mean, she's got some moves though. She's weaker, but she's not exactly Aerith clanging. You know, she's kicking and punching. I meant to do the triangle combo. You think? Is she falling into the anime girl stereotype? Is that what's going on here? That's kind of a shame, but also like not surprising. I'm a little confused why there's enemies on the screen, but then also random encounters. Whoa. Like, I wonder if they wanted to do both because the game was at one point Final Fantasy and at one point Chrono Trigger. They were like, oh, we'll do both. Seems like enemies can block attacks. So I wonder if that's the idea behind the combo system. Like, you do one big attack and hope they don't block it, or you do multiple attacks so that if they block one, you still do good damage. Maybe that's the idea? Oh yeah, they're definitely all tropes, but I just figured like they'd go with that trope because of what was said at the beginning, you know? Let's hit him with a Thermo Cube. Take that. Holy moly. To be fair, it does seem like she's at least trying to be independent. She's just struggling with it. But she's definitely not a I need a strong man to protect me kind of girl, you know. Like she's trying to be independent, she's just not able to yet. Yeah, she's definitely an interesting character. I like this idea more than the let's have a tough girl character. You know? Like, she's way more interesting. Yeah, I'd rather you not. You can always write it down, and then when I get done with the game, you can tell me stuff. Okay, so I think I don't know what I'm doing. I want to suggest pizza for dinner. I don't know what we're having for dinner because we've had a crazy week. I think we ended up having pizza like Wednesday because that was the day I streamed for 12 hours to finish Rebirth. So, like, didn't have time for anything else. I missed what that was. If the combo system isn't explained well, and therefore I never get it, then I want to never get it. So at the end of the game I can say, well, the combo system wasn't explained very well. You know what I'm saying? Thought maybe he got a new ability, but I guess not. Alright, well, I want my experience to be the usual experience, so. Ah. Wait, 4. Oh, I wonder. Hmm. I think I see how it works. Coggers. There should really be a separate menu for that if that's how it works, though. Yeah, I should read the sign. Beware of landslides. Beware of us sliding. Alright, so what was it? Square triangle? Oh, it's showing it now. Okay, so I just learned it. That was the thing that popped up, was that move. Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. There's enemies in the field, but there's also random battles, so it's like they're doing both. Okay, so now that shows up here. It says 4, so I don't know what that means. It just takes 4, perhaps? I was gonna try to save up 4 AP to see what that does. But I think it just means it takes 4 to do it. Boo, boo, boo. Yeah, AP is totally different. I'm not exactly sure how it works yet, but I do really like the inputting buttons to do combos. It's fun. Way more fun than just picking it out of a menu. Screamer. Yeah, not as good as Legaia, but nothing will ever be as good as Legaia. Closer to Legaia. I wish it needs a separate section instead of going into status and then skills. Okay, so it looks like maybe I'm learning those. So how do I learn them? Is the question. I wonder if I have to accidentally put in the right inputs or something. Or if it's just from fights or pushing buttons or something. I still have no idea what AP is for. That might be for something later. Maybe some abilities later take like whatever it was, EP and also AP or something. Now what's weird to me is, why does it show up here? Like, what does this mean? What does 1 mean? Wait a second. If I save up AP, can I maybe pick it from the combo menu? She actually screamed. How do I change targets? Oh, there we go. Oh, that's cool. That's another reason you would want to do multiple hits. So I could go like bop. Oh, never mind. I think once you pick a target, you're stuck. I thought maybe I could like punch one target and then run over and punch another target, but I don't think you can. Okay, this is what the AP is for. So you can build up AP and then do a combo platter. Interesting. Is there any reason not to do a combo every time? Because it doesn't cost anything. Well, I guess so you can build up AP. I'm a little confused though. So like for example, let's say I have Raishin and then I also have Hadouken, right? And Raishin takes 4 AP and Hadouken costs 5 AP, right? So I could do like 1 punch and save up 3 AP, and then I could do another 1 punch and I could save up another 3 AP. Then I could do like 2 punches and save up 2 AP, and then actually no, I need to save up another 3. So let's save up to 9, right? Then I could use a combo of Hadouken and Raishin in 1 combo, right? But I could have done 2 Raishins and a Hadouken by the time it took me to save up all that AP. Just not in 1 turn, spread over 3 turns. So like, I don't get why the combos would be good, because you can do a combo every turn, like 1 special move every turn. Why would I want to use, I mean, unless I'm fighting something that goes into defense mode or something. I don't see the purpose of saving up AP and doing multiple special moves when I can just do a special move every turn. Maybe there's another way to save up AP that's like better. I don't think, it seemed like it did the same damage. Maybe there's some like super combos. Like if I do Raishin and Hadouken together, I get a Hadouken Raishin that does mega damage or something. Maybe some of the combos work together to make super combos. Yeah, the only situation I could think of where it would be useful is if an enemy's going into like defense mode and then you can build up AP and then blast them. But obviously for like these fights, it's better just to spam special moves. 69 damage, nice. Well, she dead. I forgot the healer. That's unfortunate. Oh my god. It's all good though, because Faye is like a super tank. It's taking like 1 damage from everything now. Let's see if she revives, or if you actually have to have an item. Because if we need an item, then she's staying dead. Nope, she revives. Have some jerky. Already got a weapon for her?